Today's topic will be on objects, how we can work on objects. Let's say how to create a new file, how to save that, or how to open that file, or how to work on a range. Then we'll see how to work on pivot tables through code. Say now, I'll go to EB editor. I want to create a new file. Right click. I want to create a new file. That means, suppose if you want to copy some data from here, paste it in a new sheet which I'm creating. So how to create that? Say sub add workbook. So if you want to add a workbook, just say workbooks.add. That's it. Like we saw in our previous session, that is sheets.add. Now if you run this, a new workbook will be created. See, a new workbook got created, book 2. It's very simple. Now I need to save this. Save it in a folder. Let's say I want to save in our folder, that is here, this folder. Let me go back. Say sub save work. Now when I add a workbook, that will be the active workbook. I'll say workbooks.add, and then I'll say active workbook.save, or say save as. It will ask for the path. Path I have to mention like this. But what I'm trying to do here is the hard code. I'll tell you how to make it dynamic. Slash, then I have to give one name. I'll say new file dot xlsx. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to hard code this folder. Let me run this. So it is trying to save the file. Suppose if you go and see this, see, new file got created in this folder which I created. Fine. Now I want to save this file and close it. I should not open it. Let me close all this. Close this file. And this is our main file. Let's save this. Save as save class name. Right. Now I need to save this file and close it. So what we'll do is we'll try to keep this in a variable now. That means whatever we did now, we just created and saved it. That's it. Next, what we'll do, we'll see how we can put this object what I'm creating in a variable. So for that, I'll say sub save workbook, say a variable. Set name wb workbook as workbook. Now we'll put this object what I'm creating in this workbook. So how to do that? Let me go here. Say set wb workbook. Set is actually a keyword which I should be using whenever I'm using a object variable and we are assigning value for that. Now when I say inti like this, dim inti as integer, I'll say inti equals 100. So this is how I'll be assigning the value if it is a normal variable. But when it's coming to object variable, then I have to use this set. It can be any object. When I say set workbook, then I will say this workbooks.add equals workbooks.add. When I say workbooks.add, whatever the workbook is added, that will be assigned to this variable WB workbook. Now let's go here and let's save this. See this statement, whatever is there, copy this and I'll put it here. Here, instead of active workbook, I can use this one like this. Now wherever I want, I can just try to use this, even this active workbook, or if it is not active workbook also, because I have assigned whatever workbook is created to this variable. So this is the right way of using, because here anything can be active workbook. When I'm creating, there can be more other files. If some other file is getting activated for some reason, then it will work on that file. So instead, if I take the object into a variable, so whenever I want, I can just go here and I can use this. Alright, now this path, whatever is there, it is hard coded, always it will be sitting in this. Now let's say I'll take this, wherever I keep my coded workbook, that is this workbook which I'm coding, there the file has to get saved. Let me copy this. Now we'll modify it. I'll say save to, then we'll take one path string, then here I'll say str path equals this workbook dot path. Now when I say this workbook dot path, so what it will do is the file what I'm writing code, that path it will take. That means I have saved my file in this folder. So automatically it will take this folder. Here. Let's go back. Now I'll take this str path. So instead of this till here, I'll put this. Say ampersand and take this. I'll make it as 2 because already new file 2 is already there. Let me run this. Now if you go and check this, I'll have new file 2. Right, let me go back. Now I need to close this file. So what we'll do, we'll go here, we'll see how we can copy the data, open the file. I have this new file 2 or say new file 1. I need to open that and copy the data which is there in the workbook. Let's create one table. So I want to copy this data and paste it in the new workbook which I'm opening. Let's go back. So here we'll say sub copy data workbook. Now we'll create one WB src as workbook, one variable. Now we'll not add, we'll try to open the existing workbook. So for that again I need a path. Set in str path string. So str path will be this workbook dot path. Now I'll say set WB src. This is a variable name, that's it. You can either take any name you want, like what we use for other normal variables. Equals workbooks dot open, because now I'm opening the existing workbook. Open bracket. Now it will ask for the file name. The same path, whatever is there, I can specify that. Copy this and I'll put it here. I'm trying to open this file. Let's say I'll open this new file only. See? Now when I run this, when I'm running this, see, this new file got opened. Let me close this. My requirement is copy data from this sheet and paste it in the new file which I've opened. Now let me go here. I'll say sheet1 dot range of this value. that is entire range. Say D5 till here. I'll say D5 dot current region dot copy. So what current region will do is it will copy the entire region like this. So instead of mentioning these many rows or these many columns or mentioning D5 to L22, I can say dot current region, it will copy the entire. Fine. Now I'll say WBSRC dot sheets of 1. That means paste it in the first sheet. If you want to paste in second sheet, I can mention 2, 3, 4, whatever. So depending on my requirement, I can change the sheet number. Dot, I'll say range of, let's say I'll paste it in D5 dot paste special. Like what we do this paste special, same thing. Now let me run this. So it is opening the file, it is copying, and it is pasting it. Next, let's say after copying this, pasting, I need to close this by saving the file. Then what I'll do, I'll go here, same code, CWB src dot, I'll say close. So this will close, but what it will do is it will try to ask whether it should be saved or not before closing. Give a space, it will ask for save changes. I'll say true. If I say true, this will change the data, otherwise it will close without saving. Let's run this. See, it is opening, closing, and it is also saving. Now let me change the data. I'll make it something else. iTech 1 like this. I just change the data. Now what we'll do is we'll try to run this. In this case, it is opening, copying and pasting the data, and then it is closing. So now we'll see after running this code what will happen. See, now the file is not opened. To code it is open, it is closed. Now let me go to this new file. See, the data whatever is there in this sheet has been copied and pasted. So likewise, you can actually automate it. So this one in our dashboard session, what we'll do is we have a separate section called as automation, wherein we'll be showing how we can open the multiple workbooks, copy the data and paste it and do the reportings. So this is the concept what we'll be using. So same concept, but what we'll do is we'll take this into loop, this part. So using your loop the concept, you can open multiple workbook and you can paste the data. This for workbook, that is copying and pasting from one workbook to another workbook, opening a workbook and closing a workbook. So for that I'll be using this data type workbook. Right, let's go back. I have some data here. I want to use this such a way that, see, every time I'm actually specifying the address, say D5 to D10 or some range. So instead what I want is, let me rename this as mod underscore workbook, and here I'll say mod underscore range. Now we'll work on range. This range can be used on any situations where I'll be using this range. Say for example here I'm using this D5 to current region. So this itself we can put it into one variable and I can use for multiple purposes. Let's go here, say sub, and I'll say range current region, like what we saw now in this current region. Now here I'll say div RNG data as a range. So what this range will do, this will actually hold a range what specified. Let me go back. I'll say set RNG data equals sheet1 dot range of say D5 dot current region. Now if I mention this range whatever is there, that will be assigned to this. And then I can use this. So instead of this current region here, I can directly use RNG data. Let's go and see. Now if you say this, the RNG data will have this range. I'll say RNG data dot copy. Let me create one more sheet so that we can paste it here. See, now I didn't mention a sheet one dot range of d5 dot current region. Now if I go here and if I run this, see, it is copied. Now I can paste it. Let's say I'll paste it in sheet 2 dot range of d5 dot paste position. So if I run this, it will copy and it will paste it. It can be any range. So for example, I'll just try to reduce this only this much. Now if I run this, only that range, whatever is there, the current region, that will be copied. So you can use this current region when I think that I need a specific range of data to be copied. Let me copy this and I'll put the data here. I have two different regions. This is one region and this is one region. Now if I run this, it will copy only this. Let's say I'll make one more copy of this table here and here. I need to copy all these four. If I use current region, what will happen? It will just copy whichever region I have mentioned. In this case, go here. I can use the same range, but here what I'll do is I'll say sheet 1 dot used range. Here you should not specify anything, the address, just say sheet 1 dot used range. What used range will do is it will take the complete data till wherever I've used. Even if I used say somewhere here, this is also used range. Till wherever I have this data, so it will try to copy that. See, used range. Right now, this RNG data will have this complete range here. Now I'll say RNG data dot copy sync. It will copy till here, and it will. So this is how I can use the objects. So like this, there are many objects. So how to remember that? It is all about how you actually remember the objects with their hierarchies. I'll give you one example of how to work on pivot table. Let me just make one quick data. Case data. Let's quickly create some data, or we'll take a proper data itself. To one of the session, I'm just trying to. I'll just copy the data from there instead of typing it. So I'm just taking this data and I'll paste it here. Let me close this. So this is my data sheet. Now let's say I want to create a pivot table here. Now you might be asking again, so I can create it manually. Why should I actually create it through code? Sometimes what will happen, you have lot of data which you need to create pivot table and then get the reports, or in one pivot table itself I need so many reports, so automatically it has to keep getting generated. So in that case I can use this pivot table through code. So it depends on your requirement. I'm just trying to show you how the objects can be used in macros. Right now, how to use this data and create a pivot table through code. Let me just go here. Right, so if you want to create a pivot table, I'll just go here, say insert, and click on this pivot table. The pivot table is created here. Now let's go to this PBA, and here font underscore. Creating pivot table, people actually think that it's very complex. The reason is the word itself will make people feel that it's very complex, but it's very simple. Only thing is, you'll have to understand your hierarchy of the pivot table. So let's go and check. Sub create pivot table. When I'm actually using this, code for creating a pivot table, two things has to be in mind. That is pivot cache and pivot table. These are the two data types which will actually keep in mind. I'll tell you what is this pivot cache and pivot table. First, let's create this dim pivot cache as pivot cache, dim pivot table as pivot table. These are the two variables what you have to create. This pivot cache is a cache memory which will actually take this data and put it into a memory in this workbook. After that, what will happen when I'm creating this pivot table? From that memory, a pivot table is created. It's not that directly from this data, the pivot table is created always. When I'm saying insert and say pivot table, so this range, whatever we are creating, that will go and it will sit in the, say, the cache memory. From there, the data will get created, the pivot table will get created from that data. When we add some extra data here, when I create a pivot table, the pivot table will not get refreshed automatically. So I have to go and say refresh unless and until it won't get refreshed. The reason is the cache memory should get refreshed. Let's go here and we'll try to create a macro. First thing is I need to assign value to this variable. So how to do that? I said you should use set. Say pivot cache equals this workbook dot pivot caches dot create. When I say create, open bracket, it asks for what kind of database I'm trying to create the data. I'll go here, I'll say Excel database, comma. It asks for the source. Source is this one. So I can give the data here, say d5.current region, or we'll also try to use the concept where you use this range. So when you learn that, then we'll start using that concept itself. So I'll go here, I'll say dim rng data as range. So set rng data equals sheet 1 dot range of, then we'll take this, we'll take this double case data, this range will take dot range of d5 dot current region. So we'll try to rename this sheet. Right. I got this RNG data. Then here I have this current region. Now what I'll do, I'll go here. Here I'll mention this RNG data. This is the range. Range in the sense from where I'm actually trying to create the pivot table. Now I've taken the data. Now let's go here. I'll say set pivot table equals the cache memory what I've created. Inside that will create this pivot table dot create pivot table. Then say open bracket. It asks for table destination. So where will I create the destination? We already created one sheet here. Let's rename this as well. Go here. F4. Right. So where should I create? So create pivot table. Then here it asks for destination. Just say WKS pivot dot range of D5, comma. It asks for table name. We'll say pivot table 1. Now when I create this, see, here it is creating me a cache memory. Here it is creating a pivot table. So if I run this, a table is created. Now I need to add data for this. If I run this again, I'll get error because already a pivot table is created here. So for that, what I'll do, the beginning itself, I'll say pivot dot cells dot clear. That means I'm trying to clear it and then again I'm creating a new pivot table. See, now if I run this, I'll not get the error because it is trying to clear and then create the pivot table. Now we'll see how we can add. Say for example, I'll go here, say region, then I'll take the sales or say profit or say ship mode. So anything like this, if I'm trying to add like this, I can add that by the fields. So in the code, we have 4 fields. One is page field, then row field, column field, and value field or say data field. So if you keep these 4 things in mind, then it is very easy to just place your data here. So how to place the data? So anyways, I have already created one pivot table. I'll say pivot table dot pivot fields. Then go here and we'll mention the pivot field. Let's say I'll take this region dot orientation equals, I'll say Excel row field. Orientation is, if you go here, see, this is called as orientation, where I'll be placing. Like I have this range of d5 dot, say copy, delete, whatever we do. Likewise, we have this orientation. This is the method for this range, say pivot table. Now I want a data field. Let me copy the same thing, and here instead of region I'll say sales, and here I'll change this to value field. Sorry, data field. Excel data field. Now let me run this. See, I got the region in row field and this one in data field. Let me copy this. I'll take one more field, that is category, into column field. And here I'll change this to column. Let me run this. See, it's going to column. Again, if you want the ship mode, here in this row field, go here, copy this, paste it, take this ship mode, give the same name, same column name what you have. Otherwise, see, for example, if I give a wrong column name, it will throw error. See, unable to get the pivot fields property because here the ship mode is not there. I'll go here, I'll say ship space mode. Then if I run this, see, like this. So you can keep changing the fields here so that you can create the pivot table. So pivot table in macros are very easy unless and until you understand the hierarchy of it. So what all things I should take care? First is I should take care of pivot cache and say pivot table. And then we have to take the range, and then we have to assign the value to this cache and table. So once I assign this, so what will happen, see, this is the cache memory, what I'm actually creating in that particular workbook. And then within that pivot cache, I'll be creating a pivot table and I'll be naming it. Then I'll be taking the fields. So I have this row field or column field or data field, whichever fields I need. According to that, I'll just try to place this. Now, suppose if I don't want this, let's comment this, run this. See, I'll get the pivot table like this. Now I can copy this and paste it anywhere I want. Again, same thing, I can use this current region, whatever I've used here, and then we can copy and paste wherever required. So likewise, we can actually create the reports. It's all about, see, when I'm writing a macro, first I should know what object I'm creating and what is the hierarchy for it and where I can actually use it. So these are some of the programming skills what we have in this course. Apart from this, suppose if you think that you want to take this to the next level, say by using this Excel and macros and creating dashboards, dynamic dashboards, then there is a separate course, that is dashboard designing, automation and reporting techniques, where you'll be learning all the reporting techniques there by using all the Excel. Then we have this automation where we'll be using all these programming skills and do automations. That is, it can be anything, say copying data from one workbook to another workbook, multiple workbooks, or creating multiple pivot tables and pasting it somewhere, or say copying data and mailing it multiple files. So like this, that is actually after learning all your programming skills. So there will be implementing it. So whatever you have learned in this course is like how to program, the programming skills, the logical skills.